Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be explaining a very important object-oriented programming concept called polymorphism. So what I've done is I've actually created 4 classes. The first class called instrument, this is going to be our parent class. And the second class, the second 2 classes, guitar and drum, are both child classes. And then we've got the driver program that will be used to actually run the program. So I'm going to start off by building the parent class. So as the comment says, this is the parent class. It has only one method called play. So let's go ahead and write our class. So we start off by declaring our class and giving it a name. And I'm just going to define one method, and it's called play. And sorry, when I learn how to spell and things are not working out for me, I just want to print out a message basically, and I'm just going to say not sure what to play, because this is the parent class, and so it's just an instrument. It's not a specific instrument. So when we try and call the play method of this class, there is no specific, tool to play this instrument. It's just a general instrument. And so we will use this class to define actual instruments like the guitar and the drum. So let's move on to the guitar class, and pretty much the same as what we've done for the parent. But the difference is that this class has 2 methods, not one. One is called greeting and the other one is called play. So I'm going to go ahead and declare or create our child class. So it's called guitar. It should be the same name as the actual file. And to inherit from the instrument class, we use the keyword extends and the name of the parent class that we would like this class to extend from. Right, and I'm gonna define the first method, and this is greeting. And here I'm just gonna print out a message, and just to spare you the pain of me typing a very small line, but here I'm gonna say hello from guitar. So it's just to let us know who's making the call. Right, and then I'm gonna create the other method, the play method. And so because we are overriding, it is always good to use the override tag, and it will make sure that we are overriding the parent version correctly. And here I'm just gonna paste play the guitar. And I'm not sure if I've actually shown the use of the override tag, but what happens is if I actually give a different version of play that is not in the parent class, it will just give me a compilation error, so it won't let me go through. But whereas if I actually comment this out and then just create or put in a different name to the parent version, then this is just going to be treated as a new method, just like greeting, that has nothing to do with the parent. So it is always good to use the override tag. Like I said, I may have shown this in a separate video, but just in case you haven't watched it, or in case that I haven't done it at all. So yeah, so here this is going to be the drum, and so the drum pretty much does the same thing. It's got 2 methods, greeting, and it also inherits from the instrument class, but I'm just going to change a few things. So the drum, probably we beat the drum. We can, I guess. I guess we can play the drum, right? Okay. So the 3 classes are now complete. So we've got no errors there, which is good. Let's do our driver program. So in the driver program, I've actually got comments that we're going to use to fill out what we need to fill in. So here we want to create an instance of the array list, of of type instrument. So to do that, we will use the ArrayList class. And I might have not talked about this in previous videos, but I'll create a separate one on ArrayList in the future. So this is the data type of the ArrayList. So it's going to be of the parent class, the instrument. And then I would like instruments. This is the name, the reference name. And over here, we can use the same declaration, but to create the object of the ArrayList. Now, the compiler's not happy because we actually need to import the package for that. So it's done here. All right. So why did we create a reference of an ArrayList of type instrument? So the reference here, as we can see, the reference, this is the reference, is of the parent class type. So this is the type of, so this list will refer to, will basically create an array list that can hold objects of the instrument class. But because this is the parent class, this can also be used to, so we can store objects that belong to the child classes. So it can actually refer to child class objects. Okay, why do we do this? So this list will hold, so we're gonna create objects like you can see here in the comment. The first object will be an instrument, the second will be a guitar, the third will be a drum. But we are doing this so we can demonstrate how the methods of the methods of the parent class can be called polymorphically. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this further. Let's just move on to this part. So here we want to create an object from the instrument class. So let's go ahead and do that. So instrument, and I will call this instrument and new instrument. Now notice this is a different name to this because this has got the letter S, so that we indicate this is a collection of instruments, whereas this is just one object of the instrument class. Now over here, we're using the same reference, we can use a parent class reference, but like we said, it can still hold objects of child classes. Okay, and here we will create an object of the drum class, so we'll call it drum. This is going to be our reference to this object, and that's it. So we've created our three objects. Here they are. And now what we want to do is add the three objects to the array list. So to do that, we will use the reference. And so now at this point, all of these are underlined because it's not really an error. It's a warning that we haven't really referred to these objects. So we've created them, but we had never used them. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna use the reference, and the array list has a method called add, and I'm going to use that to add the object, the first object, the instrument object. And then what we can do is do the same, but add the guitar object. And notice how the underlining or the warnings have actually gone, because now we are using these references. And now the minute I've pasted this, this is no longer complaining. So it's looking good. It's not really a complaint, it's just a warning. Okay, so now everything is looking good at this stage. Okay, so here is the part where we want to demonstrate polymorphism. So what we want to do is loop through the array list and call the play method polymorphically. What does polymorphically mean? Where the correct version of the play method is called depending on the object that is calling the method. So we don't really have to worry about it. It will be done polymorphically. So polymorphism will do the work for us. So let's see how that goes. So I'm going to use a loop, and I would create a reference. It can be any name, but because I've actually used this name here, So there's going to be a problem if I use the same name. So I'm just going to call it object just to, yeah. And then so basically we're saying for each instrument object of the instruments list. Okay. So what do we want to do? So we are looping through each object in the instrument list, and we can refer to each object using this reference. So now what we can do is call the play method from here. Now I just want to show you something. I'm going to delete that and put a dot. Now the Eclipse is really going to help me figure out what methods I can call. So some of these methods, like the equals method, is coming from the object class anyway, which all classes inherit from. So we didn't really have to, you know, write that method ourselves, because you can see that this actually belongs to the generic parent of all objects or of all classes, which is the object class. Is out of scope of this video, but anyway, I just wanted to show you. But notice that we can see play, but there is no greeting. Okay, so do you remember that greeting method that we've written here? Yep, that is not shown in the list. So this means that and I've got a comment here, only methods of the parent class can be called through the parent class reference. This reference is an object of the parent class. So it means we can only call methods that are sitting in that class polymorphically. And of course I will show you after this video how we can go around that if we wanted to call the greeting method using the parent reference, but that's in the next video. So for now, here is what we've got. So I'm just gonna run the program, and so let's see what we've got. So I might actually bring this to this side so we can have it display at all times. So if I go to the first object that is sitting in the instrument list is actually the instrument. So if we go to instrument, so this comes from the instrument class. So let's go to the instrument class, and then over here the play method is called because the object belonged to this class, and it actually displayed this message which says I'm not sure what to play because I am a generic class. I'm not really sure what instrument I am. Okay, let's go back to this one. Now the second object, so that was object 0, index 0 is the instrument. Now the second object that we've added was an object of the guitar class. So we know that because when I click on guitar, and over here, well, we're supposed to highlight it for me, but it didn't. So putting guitar here, sorry, the guitar reference here is of type, is an object of the guitar class. So we go to the guitar class, and the play method of that class will be called. So here it's going to display play the guitar. The third object that is sitting in the instrument list is an object of the drum class. So we see here now polymorphically, and this is done at runtime, so it will decide which method to call depending on which object is making the call. So yeah, so that is basically polymorphism. So here it says beat the drum, so we get beat the drum. Okay, so I hope this helps you get an initial idea of polymorphism, and I'll see you in the next video where we speak about how we can call the other methods from the same parent reference. So stay tuned.